Happy haunting, everybody! Leah here with my friends Bricky and Birdie. And Tittle, of course. It's October, the spookiest month of the year for all the Anglophones in the world. It's pretty ironic considering how Irish it is.
With the Halloween season upon us, we're here to bring you some fun facts about Halloween.
We also have a book recommendation to get everyone in the Halloween spirit. We hope you'll enjoy what will hopefully be a series of videos like this. And you'd better learn something from them, or else I'll...
Halloween, also known as All Hallows Eve, has a lengthy history. It can be traced all the way back to Samhain.
It's pronounced Samhain.
Right, Samhain is a festival celebrated by ancient Britain and Ireland. Its name is derived from the Old Irish for summer's end. This makes Halloween more Irish than St. Patrick's Day.
Long ago, the Celtic otherworld, aka the realm of gods or fae and the dead, was believed to be made visible to humankind during Samhain. Otherworldly beings would cause mischief in the mortal realm.
That's how Halloween came to be.
We're all familiar with the celebrations that come with Halloween.
The costumes, the candy, the pumpkins, and jack-o'-lanterns.
Getting terrified of something other than the looming existential dread of a meaningless world I stay up at night wondering what's the point. Ouch!
That, my friends, was a run-on sentence. We do not tolerate them here. Carry on.
Who doesn't love trick-or-treating? All the sweets and candies. But that's actually a pretty new tradition. Back in the day, Halloween treats were mostly cakes, fruit, and sometimes money. During the medieval times, children and the poor would practice ensouling, in which they visited the houses of wealthier families while singing songs and received pastries called soul cakes in exchange for a promise to pray for the souls of the homeowner's dead relatives.
As for the costume part in the activity, it might be related to the tradition of guising in the UK and Ireland, which refers to the wearing of costumes when going door to door. Kids were usually clad in white and painted faces, reciting rhymes and threatening to do mischief if they were not welcome, which explains the trick part of trick-or-treat.
There are also suggestions that such precursors to trick-or-treating evolved from Samhain's pagan traditions, where people impersonated spirits to receive offerings on their behalf. Perhaps impersonating these spirits or souls would also protect oneself from them. I'm not sure if that's true, but I know that a costume disguise won't protect you from me. What?
Anyway, what would Halloween be without a glowing carved pumpkin? Or a rough, cheap plastic equivalent bought last minute at a local Toys R Us?
You'll be surprised to learn that early jack-o'-lanterns weren't necessarily carved from pumpkins. Instead, they were more likely to be carved from other vegetables, like turnips, beets, and potatoes.
A possessed vegetable garden? Cool!
It's true. Carving your jack-o'-lantern into a turnip is perfectly valid and maybe even more authentic. Pumpkins only came into play when Halloween reached North America, as they were larger, softer, and much easier to carve.
The name jack-o'-lantern likely comes from the Irish folklore of a man named Stingy Jack. There were many versions of the tale, but it all boils down to this. Jack tricks the devil, then uses crucifixes to trap him and hold him hostage. Jack makes a deal with the devil, promising to release him only if he agrees to never take his soul. Jack, like all mortal beings, eventually kicks the bucket, but his life was too sinful for him to go to heaven. However, the devil is true to his word, and so he is barred from hell as well. And so, Jack is trapped on Earth and is forced to roam here for all of eternity.
To rub salt into the wound, the devil mockingly tossed him a burning coal. Jack carves out one of his turnips, puts the coal inside it to make a lantern, and begins his restless afterlife. He came to be known as Jack of the Lantern, and is one of the origins of Will-o'-the-Wisps.
Ha! And I thought going to hell was worse.
Along with the aforementioned Stingy Jack, there are a number of monsters and icons that come to mind when Halloween comes up, like ghosts, vampires, werewolves, witches, etc. Of course, there is also Dracula and Frankenstein's monster, but we'll be introducing to you a lesser-known character, the Headless Horseman.
The Headless Horseman was popularized by the legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. In actuality, Halloween was not widely celebrated in the United States when it was published, but its spooky story has transformed into a Halloween staple.
Our story begins when an itinerant teacher takes up office in a school in a place called Sleepy Hollow, which was rumored to be haunted by a headless rider on a phantom horse. Crane, superstitious as he is, believes in it. Crane becomes rivals with a guy named Abraham Van Brunt, also known as Brom Bones, for the affections of a local heiress, Katerina Van Tassel. Crane proposes to her during Van Tassel's harvest party, but gets rejected. Distraught, Crane heads home, but discovers that he is being shadowed by a cloaked horse rider, whose head appears not to be on his neck, but carried separately. Terrified, he flees, with the horseman pursuing him. He manages to cross the bridge, but when he looks back, the figure hurls its detached head at him. The next day, the schoolmaster has vanished, and the only clues are hoof prints and a shattered pumpkin. Katerina marries Brom, who seems to know more than he lets on. People say Crane has moved somewhere else, but ominous rumors spread. Has he been kidnapped by the Headless Horseman?
What have we learned today?
The origins of the Halloween season?
Pumpkins are secretly blasphemy?
I was going to say that if you manage to capture the devil himself, don't be a short-sighted idiot by letting him go, and if you do, don't be a sinful jerk, but those are also reasonable things to take away from this video. That's it for today then.
Happy Halloween!